where the Zambia National Building Society is intending to borrow $35 million, and the Zambia Industrial Commercial Bank is expected to borrow $30 million equivalent. Now, when we look at the terms and the conditions that are attached to this, the expectation is that these will be must be favorable to the thing, otherwise it makes the whole process an academic exercise or even adds to more cost. Now, cost chair is, which is not in the paper, but just it's relative. It's not absolute. We are looking at what are the other sources of financing costs. So when we are saying this is favorable, it is in that context, not in absolute terms. So the Zambia National Building Society in particular, he wants to provide mortgages to qualifying Zambians who wish to purchase or construct their own housing units. Chair, you are aware that there is quite a lot of shortage of housing in Zambia. So this is a welcome move to try and bridge that gap. In the case of Zambia Industrial Commercial Bank, is to provide affordable financing mostly to small and medium enterprises and small scale farmers. So all these are, in our view, noble objectives and directed in the right direction. So the other issue you asked us to comment on was the alignment of the plan with the medium-term debt management strategy 2024-2026. What we are observing that during the 8th National Development Plan period, the idea is to reduce housing deficit, you see, to 1,300,000. Still, you can see it's just reducing, it's not eliminating the deficit which is existing. Plus the growing population, this could even be increasing further. In this regard, what we're saying that the planned external program is aligned with the 8th National Development, particularly the strategic development area focusing on human and social development, which aims to increase access to decent and affordable housing among other objectives. In addition, what we have observed in our market is that there is no longer funding. This kind of is a move in the right direction. In the area of SMEs, the 8th National Development Plan is pushing for bias towards to finance and promoting financial inclusion. Government expects SMEs to play a key role for citizen participation in the economy and provide an enabling environment for financial service providers to develop innovative products suitable for SMEs. So financing small-scale farmers also help these farmers to mitigate the impact of the 2023-2024 drought and assure food security in subsequent period. So financing is very important in that respect. The third item you wanted us to comment on the bank's credit risk assessment of the LC. I must stress here that, Chair, the assessment is done at a particular time in point. So we were looking at information as at the end of September 2024, and looking at the balance sheets of these two entities, we believe that they have the capacity to meet these borrowing requirements. So this is a moving target, it can change. So what is important is prudence on the part of the borrowers, that they constantly look at their balance sheet to see that they are getting the cash flows that are needed to meet these requirements. So we spell out in C there on page 3 the terms that have been highlighted for that. So The other one is in dollar terms. The other one is in the quasi equivalent. That is the loan to ZNPS. So since I have those, you can ask questions later, Chair, if there is need for further clarification. But just to say, one is no less than 8%. That is the dollar-denominated loan. The other one is no more than 21.5%. As I said, this is relative, it's not absolute. In other settings, this would be really high. But what is to be understood is what alternatives do we have. And this is what we are, as an institution, working towards reducing further when inflation is reduced. The fourth item you asked us to comment on was an anticipated impact of borrowing by these two entities on the housing market and the same financing. This obviously will not resolve completely the challenges that are faced in these two areas, but these will go a long way to bridge some of that shortfall that we have. So really, it's our hope and expectation institutions utilize these resources effectively so that they do make the expected contribution in reducing the hardships in those two areas. E is the assessment of corporate governance practices within the SOEs. Chair, as I indicated at the outset, that it's fair to say that corporate governance has been a major challenge in most of the SOEs. Quite apart from internal weaknesses, there have also been instances where there are external interference or influences which are not helpful to how these institutions work. We draw comfort here in this regard that the government has established a supervisory and performance monitoring framework for SOEs. We hope a good implementation of this will curtail such interferences and also put on notice the SOEs that they are being monitored. So in particular, we see that the framework stresses the issues of financial reporting, borrowing, recapitalization, board appointments, dividend declaration, reporting structure, as well as, more importantly, transparency and accountability. The framework states that borrowing by SOE shall be governed by the Public Debt Management Act of 2022. And SOE can only borrow externally if authority is granted by Secretary to the Treasury and an external borrowing plan is submitted to the minister responsible for finance, and this must be approved by you, honorable members, in the National Assembly. So these are important provisions which were not there before, and perhaps that's why we are having some of the problems that we have seen in that space. So what we are saying is that the board of directors have the duty of care to safeguard financial sustainability of the institution they oversee. So I think what is critically important here, when a board is appointed, I think they have a fiduciary responsibility and they must be given the space that they need to be able to execute their duties diligently and in an accountable way. When there are interferences, it is difficult now to assign blame who is responsible, because they will point that no, if they weren't interfered with, they wouldn't have done that. So this is what we are saying here. 6, potential fiscal and macroeconomic implications of external borrowing. All we want to say is that in setting these objectives, the minister took due consideration of these, so we don't see them on and by themselves creating a problem to the macroeconomic objectives. In conclusion, Chair, we are saying that the proposed financing arrangements by Zambia National Building Society and the Zambia Industrial Commercial Bank are essential for the development of the housing market and SMEs. The full potential of the SMEs is yet to be unlocked due to several constraints impeding their development that include access to affordable financing. The deliberate step taken by the government to develop policies stipulated in the revised National SME Development Policy for 2023 is commendable. It aims to enhance the role of the SME sector in economic development underpinned by wealth and job creation. The housing and the SME finances are expected to support economic growth and are in line with the goals of the 8th National Development Plan. I submit, Chair. Thank you.
Governor, thank you very much for that submission. Honorable members, any questions? I'll take one from Honorable Nyirenda and Honorable Mukosa in that order. Honorable Nyirenda. Try the other one. Just a bit, Mike. Just a bit, Honorable Governor. It looks like it's only mine which is working.
Oh, that's
why don't you can come with just colleagues come so that we can continue. My wife is coming, Honorable Mukosa. You can ask. Yeah, please. No, you come use this one, Honorable Mukosa. You can use this one. Oh.
Thank you, Chair. Governor, I would like first of all to congratulate you on your reappointment as Governor of the Bank of Zambia for the next 6 years. I saw the communication, I think, just some minutes ago. Congratulations. Chair, I would like to ask a question to the Bank of Zambia Governor. Governor, I do take note of the anticipated benefits that will come as a result of the $30 million loan to Zambia Industrial Credit Bank and the $35 million loan to the Zambia National Building Society. I will not discount any of the benefits that will come with these two borrowings. But Governor, this committee has concerns with how these two institutions will manage the risk that will come with the foreign currency exposure, because this money is going to be borrowed in dollar, then the money will be lent to the people that will borrow in kwacha, yet the repayments will be made in dollar, and we don't seem to see the risk management measures that have been put in place to ensure that the risk that comes with the foreign exchange exposure risk is managed. So I don't know if you when you were preparing to make this submission, if you undertook any analysis to see how best this risk is going to be managed. I seek your comment on this issue that has been raised, Governor. Thank you so much, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Brenda Nyirenda.
Thank you so much, Chair. Governor, good afternoon. Indeed, congratulations are in order. The question that I have for you is concerning ZICB. Just maybe it's not even less than a month ago, you appeared before our committee talking about how ZICB had taken over Invest Trust Bank. To me, and I think the Zambians who are watching us, it could have meant that these people were very sound, or this particular company was very sound for it to even take over Trust Bank. The question that I have for you, it hasn't even passed 6 months. They are here now. They would want a backup of us Zambians for them to borrow. Were they sound enough to even take over the bank when today they are asking to be funded? Do you think this ZICB will be in a position to even pay back? And especially that the money which they are requesting to get is in dollars. Your comment, Governor.
Okay, Governor, can you respond to those?
Thank you very much, Chair, and most grateful for the kind words from both Honorable Nyirenda and Honorable Mukosa on my reappointment. I truly appreciate that. Let me perhaps take them not in the order in which they are raised, the issues, Chair. Let me start with the concern raised by Honorable Nyirenda. Yes, ZI